Right now, one of the busiest holiday travel days is underway. What the State Patrol says you can do to get to your destination safely.
Also, a request to broadcast the Muslim call to prayer is met with outcry from members of a western Wisconsin community.
And later, after serving more than 30 years in the legislature, a Republican state senator announces her retirement, what implications it will have going forward. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Well, the holiday rush is underway. Millions of Americans crossing the country and in Wisconsin traveling to their Thanksgiving destinations.
AAA expects the worst traffic today between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. tonight, with the late afternoon seeing double the normal traffic volume. For a more detailed look into traffic and weather conditions, let's go out to Julian Seawright.
Well, as of right now, we are still looking at things to be rather smooth for us in terms of our temperatures and the weather in itself. Here in Madison, we're only holding on to a little bit of cloud cover, but temperatures are still not so bad for us. 42 degrees as of right now. After such a mild day for the day before Thanksgiving, we're looking for tonight to be a rather pleasant one as well. We're going to start to see that fall into the upper 30s as we head into the later part of tonight with some cloud cover starting to linger, which will lead into tomorrow as well. Tonight's temperatures will drop to around 35 degrees in Madison, 36 for Janesville, and about 37 for Platteville. But here's a look at our travel planner in itself. We are looking for tonight to be one of the busier days for travel, but the good news is weather is not going to be impacting us over the next 3 days. We do have a couple of chances of seeing some showers going into our Thursday afternoon, but outside of that, we are looking at 40s and even 50 degrees heading into our Saturday, which we could see another mix late. We'll talk more about the weather and traffic in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
This holiday weekend is typically one of the deadliest on the roads, which is why the State Patrol has some tips to make sure you stay safe. First of all, watch your speed and remain calm. Driving with road rage can be unsafe for not only you, but others as well. They also remind you to check the weather before you go anywhere.
But we all know Wisconsin weather is weird. It could be this, it could be like this, and like right now, and then probably the next few hours it'd be snowing or raining or just bad conditions overall.
The State Patrol also reminded us all to make sure not to drink and drive. Those who care about you would much rather you rest on the couch for a night than drive drunk.
A man charged with killing another man inside his home pleading guilty today. 45-year-old Jason Kieski pled guilty to a single charge of first-degree intentional homicide for his role in the death of Keith Wolf in 2019. In exchange for his guilty plea, prosecutors agreed to drop a burglary while armed charge. They also agreed to not object to any request for extended supervision after 30 years if Kieski is found eligible at his sentencing hearing. That's scheduled for December 5th. Authorities in Adams County are asking for the public's help finding a runaway teen. 15-year-old Braylon Miller was last seen November 10th around 3:30 p.m. at Adams Friendship High School. Officials believe she's somewhere in the Stevens Point area, described as a white female, light brown hair, blue eyes, 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs roughly 135 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black Nike hoodie, gray leggings, and tan or white sandals. Anyone who has information about her location is asked to contact Adams County Sheriff's Office or your local law enforcement agency. A request from an Islamic community in northwestern Wisconsin has turned a small community into a divided one when the large Somalian population in Barron asked the city for permission to publicly broadcast their call to prayer. The public had a lot to say. Naomi Coles reports.
Barron is home to Wisconsin's largest Somalian population, and that's since the very early 90s. But a relatively large community presence hasn't helped them get one of their religious requests through the city council.
I am the first Somali Muslim local city council elected official in the state of Wisconsin.
It took 3 tries for Isaac Muhammad to get elected to Barron City Council. But following his April win, he must now reckon with something he's never had to before.
I was disappointed to hear that, from Barron local saying that go back to Somalia. Well, this is my home. I have 5 children. 4 of my children were born in Barron. They don't know where else to go.
Allah. It's this sound that divided the community. Barron's sizable Somalian population asked the city for permission to broadcast their call to prayer from their 2 mosques. Members of the public turned out to oppose it.
And we are like any other citizen. We are taxpayers. We vote like any other person.
Traditionally, as I said, it's important because it's part of the prayer.
Across Wisconsin, Ibrahim Saeed of Madison's Islamic Center says publicly broadcasting the call to prayer has not been an issue before.
We here almost 42 years now. We never even thought of it.
Larger Muslim communities in Michigan and Minneapolis do, but not Madison or Milwaukee.
With the technology we have, you can have it on your phone. You can get it through the internet. You can get it the way we connect to people through our groups.
For Somalians in Barron, it was a love of peace that prompted the next step, withdrawing their request.
We do not wish to be the target of the trouble and conflict, especially here in Barron.
Having harmony in a community is more important, and there is more gain than broadcasting the call outside.
Very recently, Minneapolis was the first major city in the U.S. to grant permission to its Muslim communities to publicly broadcast their call. In Dearborn, Michigan, which is the largest Muslim community in the states, they've had one for several years.
A Madison man who threatened students inside a UW-Madison residence hall earlier this year was sentenced to probation after reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. Prosecutors charged 21-year-old David Clash Miller in late September with 8 offenses. He pleaded guilty to 2 of those charges, threatening a law enforcement officer and disorderly conduct with a hate crime enhancer. All other charges were dropped as part of the deal. Clash Miller was sentenced to 4 years of probation. If he violates his conditions, he will have to serve 6 months in jail.
The Wisconsin DOJ says more drugs were collected in Wisconsin than in any other state during the most recent Drug Take-Back Day. About 54,000 pounds of unwanted medications were collected across Wisconsin during the 2022 Fall Take-Back Day. That's according to a press release. Since the nationwide initiative began in 2010, the state DOJ says Wisconsin ranks 3rd in the country in most drugs collected, with almost 1.1 million pounds of unused medications. That's behind only California and Texas, 2 significantly larger states. Officials say getting rid of unused drugs is key when it comes to preventing addiction and misuse. At the Capitol, she had the longest tenure of any woman, co-chairing the state's powerful budget writing committee.
But now State Senator Alberta Darling says she's retiring in just a week's time. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on her legacy and how this shakes up the Senate.
Well, Charlotte, all day we've heard accolades pouring in from politicians on both sides of the aisle for the senator who her colleagues say was a powerful conservative voice.
She was really my mentor as co-chair.
Former state rep John Nygren only served on the powerful Joint Finance Committee 2 years before he became one of the co-chairs.
She really helped guide me to, be successful in that role. And you look at some of the things we accomplished financially for the state. From a conservative perspective, she was at the table for some of the most conservative reforms in state history.
At 78, Darling didn't give a specific reason for her departure, other than she wants to spend more time with her family.
I think everybody just looks for that right time, and there is never a right time. I've been through this myself, and I think, she just made a decision that was best for her and best for her caucus.
But the seat Darling leaves behind will be a critical one for Republicans. The GOP currently has a supermajority in the chamber, but that will end when she steps down, and that seat will have to be filled by a special election.
The Republicans need all the help they can get in that district.
Darling sits in the 8th district in suburban Milwaukee. That area used to be reliably red, but we've seen the Milwaukee suburbs become bluer in the last election.
And they gave themselves that help by, redrawing it to become somewhat more Republican than it used to be. But even that may not be enough. Certainly that's what Democrats will be hoping.
And a low turnout special election may help Democrats, at least in the moment. John Johnson recalls a special election in 2018 for the Senate district up near Door County.
Caleb Frostman won that special election by a little over 51%, and then got absolutely trounced by Jacques in the following general election.
So the question remains, who will run to replace her, however? Nygren says that we could see some of the assembly reps from that area step up, or even another local official.
When we come back, although turkey is on everyone's mind this week, a different bird is drawing some attention.
Plus, a nonprofit asks for the community's help to bring a little joy to survivors of domestic abuse. Stay with us.
Buck and Honey's. Visit any of our 3 Best of Madison locations in Monona, Sun Prairie, or Wanakee. And for a limited time, buy $100 in Buck and Honey's gift cards and receive a $20 bonus over the holidays.
It's Black Friday now at Grand Appliance. Get half back on select 2022 grills and unbeatable appliance specials like up to $1,000 back and 0% interest for up to 36 months on our most popular brands. These exclusive offers are on top of Black Friday pricing, which is now in effect on all appliances, including this ultra-quiet 3-rack KitchenAid dishwasher for just $749. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom today. Grand Appliance, the appliance expert since 1930.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care, a framework for living well, windows to take in the beautiful future, and is crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living, built with the help of angels.
If you're planning a private party or need catering, why not treat yourself to the best of Madison? Buck and Honey's, 7 special event spaces and the award-winning catering you deserve. Make it Buck and Honey's, Monona, Sun Prairie, and Wanakee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Defy Domestic Abuse Beloit is looking for gifts to give to families and individuals who they've served in the past year. The holiday gift program is an annual tradition for the nonprofit. Defy staff has asked each family or person who received services in the past year for a list of items they would like for the holidays. Lists often include such items as gas cards, clothes, body wash, toys, and gift cards.
A lot of survivors we work with are working to rebuild family and friends relationships after an abusive relationship, so they may not have a lot of gift giving or receiving this season, so this may be kind of the only gifts that they get, or we may have parenting survivors who don't have the ability to purchase for their children, so we can give them their gifts and they can make their kids' holidays really special.
This year, Defy has served and provided services to more than 150 survivors of domestic abuse. Anyone who would like to adopt a family or individual and receive a list of items can call the number right there on your screen.
Chicken prices are falling. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Chicken prices were up nearly 15% in October compared to the 12 months prior. Strong demand and supply issues were among the factors causing problems for the industry. However, due to some adjustments and supply and demand in better shape now, wholesale prices have been dropping and will eventually trickle down to consumers. And coming up, a Wisconsin man looks to give some Ukrainian children a little bit of holiday cheer.
Plus, how a Wisconsin cheese factory was able to help make a North Carolina boy's wish come true.
Plus, what's the weather looking like for Thanksgiving Day and beyond? Julian has the answers. Your complete forecast is next.
Ashley's Black Friday mattress sale is here. For a limited time, save big on Tempur-Pedic and Purple adjustable mattress sets. Plus, get 60 months special financing and free delivery. Don't miss out on Black Friday mattress savings. Happening now at Ashley.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with the 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash and unlock Chevy Cyber Cash all month long. Stop by your local Chevy dealer this Black Friday weekend.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Keeping Binax Now handy makes it easy to test. And self-test kits may be reimbursable with no copay through your health plan. With Binax Now, you'll have reliable results in 15 minutes with the self-test that features the same technology doctors use and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. So you can always be prepared with Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
It's sauna season at Bachman Pools and Spas.
At Bachman Pools and Spas, we carry the exclusive Finleo sauna in both infrared and traditional styles.
6 saunas on display and dozens ready for delivery.
Saunas are the ideal way to relieve stress, soothe body aches, and feel invigorated.
Black Friday specials at Bachman's going on now.
For a limited time, pay by credit card to take an additional 10% off. Who does that?
Or get 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit.
Relax, it's Bachman's.
Here's to the holidays. Here's to the casserole queens and Santas who saute. To the turkeys brined in beer, and well, just beer. To the ones who do the most, and the ones who do the least. To the classic traditions, and whatever you call this one. This year, no matter how you holiday, Festival has you covered. Festival Foods, a Wisconsin tradition since 1946.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Black Friday appliance sale is here. For a limited time, buy any GE dishwasher and get a free garbage disposal. Plus, 60-month special financing with no minimum purchase. Don't miss out on Black Friday appliance savings at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
For many kids, it would be their dream to visit a chocolate factory like Willy Wonka's. But for a North Carolina 11-year-old, it was his wish to go to a cheese factory right here in Wisconsin. Bryant McCrae introduces us to Max Ball.
It was hard some days, and then some days it was like, that's it. And then some days it felt like it took more than just a week.
This is 11-year-old Max Ball from North Carolina, a little boy with big spirit.
I was in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob SquarePants.
And today, while Max sings the theme song to his favorite TV show, it wasn't too long ago he was fighting for his life.
December 21st, 2021 is when the official Ewing sarcoma results come back.
December 21st, 4 days before Christmas, the Ball family forever changed.
I mean, any day that you realize your child has cancer, I don't know how to explain that.
I just kept thinking we're gonna be done soon, just over and over in my head.
There's no words to describe what the Ball family has gone through, but they say they learned to trust the process. Everything will work out.
And one day at a time. That's the best advice I can give anybody. One day at a time, because again, if you think forward about it, it consumes you. If you think backwards on it, it consumes you. One day at a time. Be there in the moment.
And it's the living in the moment they're doing now, less than a year later. Less than a year, their son is in remission and living out his biggest wish, which brought them from North Carolina to the small town of St. Cloud, Wisconsin. With the help of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Max could have chosen anything, anywhere in the world. But he wanted to come here, the Sargento Baker's cheese facility, to learn what it takes to be a cheesemaker.
Cheese and family.
That's it.
That's it.
Cheese and family.
Yep.
He could have gone anywhere. He chose Wisconsin, and now we've fallen in love with it.
We make really good cheese here. So again, in a season of giving thanks, Max says he is so thankful for cheese, his family, and of course his doctors.
That's a great story. A Kendall man is one step closer to making Christmas better for children from Ukraine. Woodworker Kel Kavistad of Monroe County made 200 trucks for Ukrainian children forced to flee their homes because of the war. At a recent doctor's appointment, Kavistad told his physician, Dr. Rebecca Danhoff, what he was trying to do. She was so inspired, she asked her coworkers to help, and together they donated 200 activity books.
This way they got something else to do besides just play with trucks. They can do coloring and learn things from them books. There's a lot of different stuff in those books.
Now, with the help of another community member and donations from the public, Kavistad says the trucks, books, and some crayons will be shipped to Chicago, then to Poland, and into the hands of young Ukrainian refugees, hopefully by Christmas time. And coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10, we check back in with a Ukrainian family in Oregon, Wisconsin, how they're making a difference for their home country as the war there continues.
Now to Julian as we look at our Thanksgiving holiday forecast.
Well, starting things off just with a quick traffic update. We are looking on the west side of the Beltline to be really on a slow spot as of right now. There was an incident of a crash which has blocked the left lane, so that's going to be slowing our traffic as we continue throughout the rest of tonight. But the good news is that the interstates or I-39 is still rather smooth for us. Now let's go ahead into our forecast. We're going to be monitoring the low pressure systems, which is over towards the Great Plains as of right now, starting to continue to move its way just into the upper Midwest over the next couple of days, which could bring in a couple of shower or activity chances for us as we get into our late Thursday afternoon, and especially for our weekend. But outside of that, we are looking for things to be rather smooth and on top of it, rather mild. And then once we get into our travel delays, well, we're looking for things to be rather smooth for the upper Midwest. Areas to the south are going to be looking at some real strong delays, especially from Texas over towards parts of Arkansas and even southern parts of Missouri over the next couple of days, as we are going to be anticipating for weather to really start to pick up around there, which could be slowing things down for us. But for here in the southern Wisconsin area, we're going to be looking at some pretty smooth conditions. Tonight, 35 degrees. Cloud cover is going to stick around from tonight's going into tomorrow, which is also going to be leading the way for us to potentially see a couple of showers for us here as we get into our afternoon. But temperatures are still going to be rather pleasant. Around 48 degrees in Madison and Janesville, and 47 degrees for Platteville, and a couple of areas could even see around 50 degrees for Bosqueville and Lone Rock. Here's a breakdown of how our Thanksgiving holiday is going to be panning out for us. We're going to see mostly cloudy conditions throughout the course of the day for us. The shower potential is mainly going to be in the afternoon, but as we head into our Black Friday, we're looking at wonderful weather for some shopping. 44 degrees for us, and plenty of sunshine is going to be sticking around. Now, as we take a look at how our Thanksgiving has panned out over the last few years, we're actually pretty much following the trend of the last couple. We saw 47 degrees on 2020, 49 last year. Also had a little bit of a drizzle. Some showers recorded, just less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, and we're looking to be repeating that as we head into tomorrow. But outside of this, cloud cover is going to dominate our skies going into our Thursday. Heading out the door around 7 o'clock, could see a couple of showers starting to develop, especially just south of Madison. But then as we get into the lunchtime hour, we are looking for things to just be very periodic and broken up throughout the course of the day. Then we could be seeing some drizzle early into our afternoon, but then once we get into around the 5 o'clock and nightly hours, we're just looking at cloud cover to really dominate for us. Outside of it, not really going to be seeing too much in terms of rainfall or anything in terms of activity. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall is going to be expected for us as we get into the rest of the event that's going to be moving in for us as we get into our Thursday afternoon. But outside of that, folks, the few takeaways that we're going to be looking at is not just for this weekend. We do have a chance of seeing some rain and potentially some snow mixing in Saturday night into our Sunday morning, but it's going to be next week. We're going to be watching for on Wednesday, especially our Tuesday nights into our Wednesday morning. We could see a system that could be bringing in some rain, potentially even some snow for us, which will be welcoming in some colder conditions once we go into the first day of December. That's going to do it for weather. Over to you, Zach.
Well, coming up in sports, Badgers down in the Bahamas and moving on in the winners bracket. How Wisconsin got it done despite a terrible shooting performance. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham for only $5.99 a pound. Get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Hy-Vee canned corn or green beans, only 39 cents. And Halo's mandarin oranges, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Whether you're looking for all the advanced features or something with a lower upfront cost, with Rheem heating equipment, you can stay comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations.
Oh, come on. Yes, let's go.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today, serving Dane County for over 45 years.
Right now, score the lowest prices of the year at Brothers Maine. You won't find lower prices anywhere. And enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Maine's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
This This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. So, this Black Friday, choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, thousands of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. This season, choose Flex Buy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
'Tis the season for the Menards Enchanted Forest. Take a stroll through a Christmas tradition that goes back over 60 years. We have everything you need to make your home a Christmas winter wonderland, inside or out. Find the perfect outdoor inflatable. Choose your tree. Find the perfect ornaments and garlands. Can't forget the tree topper. Menards Enchanted Forest has all your Christmas needs. Even Santa can't miss out on these savings and selection.
Right now at Hy-Vee, buy a Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham for only $5.99 a pound. Get a honeysuckle white turkey for free. Pepsi products, 4 for only $14 when you buy 4. And Hy-Vee butter, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
Before they left for the Battle for Atlantis tournament, all the Badgers talked about was bringing back 3 wins. Easier said than done when you're looking at who they'd potentially be playing. You know, the reigning national champs. But first things first, they've got a date with Dayton. And points were at a premium in the Bahamas. Second half, Badgers up 5. Marcus Ilver dials one up from deep, and the lead is 8. Wisconsin led by as many as 10 in the second. Dayton, though, would come back to tie it. And that's when Tyler Wall went to work. The senior gets the bucket and the foul to make it a 3-point game. They'd score just 1 point in the final 4 minutes and 38 seconds, but it wouldn't matter. Max Klesmet comes up with a huge block to win the game with 2 seconds left. Badgers survive an ugly shooting performance. 43-42 is the final. Fewest points in a win since 1957. Wisconsin moves on in the winner's bracket and will face Kansas tomorrow at 10, thanks to a gritty, not pretty win.
Just proud of our guys, how they continue to find a way, and it wasn't always aesthetic as maybe we wanted it to, specifically on the offensive end. I wanted it to be, but defensively, this group is continuing to show and grow and develop some grit and toughness.
The path to a 4th straight Big Ten volleyball championship is pretty simple for Wisconsin. Beat Nebraska Friday night in Lincoln, and Kelly Sheffield's squad wins it outright. Now, there are a couple scenarios where the Badgers could share it, but nobody wants that. This group wants to continue their dominance in the conference, and what better way to show it than with a title on the line?
Everybody knows the situation. You know, it's not like, hey, let's get in front of the team and, hey, there's a Big Ten championship opportunity in front of us, and everybody, wow, that we didn't know that. We got to go to Nebraska. We got to play really well, and we know that. Every one of our players know that, and after that, then we're going to try to get on a plane as quickly as possible.
And don't forget to tune in to tonight's Badger Blueprint. Jim Polzzi and I break down the battle for the Axe and look back at last year's game against the Gophers. That's tonight at 10.
All right, Zach, thank you. Let's go to Julian, a final check of the forecast.
Well, the good news is we're not going to be looking at the weather to impact our travel for the next few days for us, but temperatures are going to feel rather nice once we get into Saturday. Could see a couple of shower opportunities, but outside of that, smooth sailing until we get into next week.
And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.